WWE has seemingly booked themselves into a corner heading into WrestleMania season. There might be a lot of hype around the Rock versus Roman Reigns match that's hypothetically there after the big mic drop moment on the Day 1 edition of Monday Night Raw, but it's presented a new problem entirely. I'm Kevin, this is Sportskeeda Wrestling, and what is your take on this situation with WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments below. The big problem for Triple H and his creative team is the events that played out at Day 1, building to that mega match of Roman Reigns versus The Rock, something anticipated on a WrestleMania stage for years. But the problem is a good one, and it's the good guy in WWE. Cody Rhodes. WWE usually has a rule of not teasing matches that they can't promise to deliver. And if The Rock, who rarely ever appears on WWE television at all anymore, made a direct jab at Roman Reigns and his head of the table status, it would leave a lot of people to think that WWE is back in the Rock in the wrestling ring business again for the big show in Philadelphia. So what are they going to do? The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes has been WWE's biggest and most reliable good guy since returning to the company in 2022, and they've essentially spent all of that time building him up to be the next top good guy in the next few years. And by all means, Cody Rhodes has been reliable and done virtually everything right in the last few years, proving to WWE that getting behind him when they did was right. Headlining Hell in a Cell with a torn pectoral muscle, rehabbing and coming back at Royal Rumble, climbing the mountain to WrestleMania 39, only for Roman Reigns and the Bloodline to goon their way out of another title match. And yet, we now find ourselves at a crossroads, get it? Where he may not get that main event redemption at WrestleMania 40 that he sought at WrestleMania 39. Many fans had clamored for. Predicting Cody in this role was never a bad shade of predictable, but it's more something that people had anticipated and then wanted. So what exactly could happen with Cody Rhodes if we get The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40? There are a lot of variable situations here, and we can touch on a few of them. And let's be clear about something. WWE, at the end of the day, is a business and wants to make as much money as possible. And we covered why and why not the Rock versus Reigns match may or may not happen at WrestleMania. You can check out that video on our channel. Listen, we get it. If you're a fan of The Rock and Roman Reigns happening, that's a cool match too. In the last decade or so, we've seen countless instances where a deserving full-time superstar had a huge spot taken from them by a part-time featured player for the sake of a big marquee match. CM Punk was reportedly blocked from WrestleMania main events not once but twice in 2012 and 2013. And that problematic situation is playing out again. The night after WrestleMania 39, we saw Cody Rhodes valiantly accept the loss at the hands of Roman Reigns, but also challenge him for a redemptive rematch, setting the stage for WrestleMania 40. They have promised something with Cody pursuing that title, finishing his family's story, and now he must now right that wrong and conclude it at WrestleMania 40. At least that's what we're expecting. Technically, no, he can finish that story anywhere, not just Mania. So WWE kind of has an out there. WWE, though, has pushed the idea in our heads that we've seen Cody ignore the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw despite being one of the biggest stars on that brand. He wants the title that Roman Reigns has. And this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is where WWE has booked themselves into a corner with a lot of great players who are very over and a solution that needs to be figured out. Ask yourself, if not a match against Roman Reigns, who on earth could Cody Rhodes face at WrestleMania 40? They can't leave him off the card, right? The alternatives are not limited, honestly. Since Cody is such an established name, he will be on the show. How does WWE play on the emotions and build on the story of what could have been into what's happening with Cody in the ring at the biggest show of the year? The biggest talking point with fans is the two-night scenario of WrestleMania, allowing for the possibility of Roman Reigns pulling double duty on the biggest show of the year, possibly defending his tribal chief status and maybe even the title against The Rock, while also defending the WWE Universal title he's held for years against Cody or whoever else wins that role. Most likely Cody, right? Some claim that this is sloppy on the surface level, but is it? It's never been done before. And it also also shows the world that Roman Reigns rules the wrestling world, and now the wrestling world will challenge him collectively. You could always have the triple threat scenario with Rock versus Cody versus Reigns for the title, which would allow for a lot of different storyline dynamics to play out in a match of itself. But isn't this whole title switch about one guy doing it? A similar idea being floated around and fantasy book collectively sees The Rock influence the outcome of the hypothetical Reigns versus Cody title rematch, setting the stage for Rock versus Reigns after Mania. Emphasis there on hypothetical. Outside of the world title scene, Cody can have a personal emotional issue with several other superstars, like say the recently returning Randy Orton, who he has a lot of history with. Possibly he can break another long title reign with the Ring General Gunther, the record-breaking WWE current Intercontinental Champion. If Cody's assumed title path is disrupted, what's to say he doesn't, backtrack and shake up the presumptions of Punk challenging Rollins for the recently created World Heavyweight title? If WWE is going to go through with The Rock versus Roman Reigns, then they have to do something insane and radical to keep Cody Rhodes' momentum alive. What do you think is a good idea for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? Let us know your thoughts and really lay it all out in the comments below.